All right, hey VC Jeff, I am back again with another contest entry. Wanted to hit a couple of these while I had everything set up. So yeah, this one is for Momma's music, Momma's Records over there. He has just hit 200 subscribers. Link below. You can check out the channel, check out what he's got to show, and climb on board this contest and everything. Everything's based around 2 because it's 200. He's got everything based around 2. So basically we have 3 questions. Hey, there should have been 2 questions. Anyway, 3 questions and then 2 shout outs. So anyway, let's jump right into this. The first one is show an album with what we would consider the perfect B-side. B-side, of course, being the side 2. So I started thinking about it, and it didn't take me long to kind of realize that this is qualifying, in my opinion. Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. You know, you think about it, I mean, this is a great album from start to finish. But I don't know, for some reason, all these years later, maybe it's because when you look at it on vinyl, it's different than when you look at it on CD. But when you look at it on vinyl, you realize side 2 is where the hits are. Look at that. Number of the Beast and Run to the Hills, right there, both of them on side 2. And Hallowed Be Thy Name, one of the great epic 7-minute long songs. And then Gangland is just a intense, underrated, I guess, because didn't become a hit single. But so yeah, that is an amazing. You got 2 of the biggest hits from the album, and then one of the better songs as far as the big epic songs from the album. So in my opinion, this is a solid, perfect B-side. There's a lot of albums I could probably count that on, but because a lot of bands tend to, you know, they start off the album real strong and then you start getting a little more fillers as you go, but not all bands are like that. So, all right. Next up, I'm going with Stryper's Soldiers Under Command. Now, their first album, great album, you know, kind of rough, a little more rough. This one, they had some money behind it, production, great songs, solid album from start to finish. Just, you know, some of the bigger hits that they still play to this day. Soldier Under Command makes me want to sing. Rock. I mean, just it is a solid. Definitely does not. He wanted to see an album that doesn't suffer the sophomore slump. Because, you know, think about it. Some bands, when they first get signed, the first songs that they record are songs that they've lived with the longest. They've been playing them in the clubs, in the places. They've been working on. They fine tune them. They've been living with these songs for the longest amount of time. They finally get signed. They record them. These songs are cream of the crop, usually stuff that they've lived with for the longest time. They've had time to really fine tune them into being perfect. Then they get on the road and they start supporting that first album. And the record company wants a second album. Now they're on the road trying to write songs, scramble together to get in their songs written in before they go to the studio. So sometimes the second album tends to be a little more thrown together, and it doesn't always. Some bands come out of the gate and just put great albums, 1, 2, 3. But some bands, the second album is lacking a little just because they haven't had as much time to work with it. Not the case with Stryper. Now, some people might be saying, but wait a minute, Jeff. The sophomore album would be the second album, and Stryper's first album was an EP, so it doesn't qualify as an album, it's an EP, so therefore this would not be their second album, this would be their first album. Fine, I'll go with that. If you want to go with that argument, I'll accept that. And we'll go with their second full-length album, To Hell with the Devil, even bigger of a hit, bigger of a moneymaker. Probably their most popular album is this, To Hell with the Devil. So anyway, can't go wrong. Whatever album you want to call their second album, whether it's that or this, neither one suffers from a sophomore or even a third, you know, slump at all. Third question is a perfect double album. Now, you know, not a lot of bands do double albums. A lot of bands I listen to do double albums, but not a lot. So to find one that you would think is perfect, that doesn't have a lot of filler, you know, I was trying to avoid live albums because a lot of double live albums, but you know, actual studio albums, it can be tough. But I didn't take too long to think too hard about it. Neil Morris, The Similitude of a Dream. I think everybody loved this album. It's the next album was also a double album that was a second part of this, but this album ranted and raved by everybody as being just great. It's a concept album based on Pilgrim's Progress, the book. So it's a story about Pilgrim, and it's got all kinds of musical styles and themes telling the story. Great musicianship, prog rock, hard rock, borderline metal. I I don't find a flaw in it from start to finish. And so yeah, I consider this, and there's probably a couple more I could look up and see, but I consider this just a perfect double album. Now he wants to hear 2 shout outs for channels that have under 200 subscribers. I'm going with Craig over to A to Z Music Haven. At the time I'm recording this, Craig has 198. So if you go there and look now, you'll say, hey, Jeff lied, did you go over 200? No, he has 198 as of today when I did this video. So push him over by going and checking him out. Craig's a great guy. And then Marty over at Puddleglum's Music. He only has like 60 some, and he's been doing videos for a while, and great stuff. A little bit of prog here. He does do some stuff in the Christian metal, Christian rock, Christian metal, but he does a little of everything. He likes Rush and bands like that. So a little bit of everything. Check him out. Marty's a great guy, great channel. Let's get him up over 100 at least. Push him to 200. Anyway, that'll do it. I'm gonna cut this one short. Thanks a lot, Momma's Records, for having this contest, and you all check out the channel. All the links below, and I will see you all later. Rock on and rock hard.